How's it going, guys? Well, it's time for the moment of truth. I put up a couple videos of this 1979 Ironhead I picked up. I got it about a week ago. Made a couple videos, started cleaning up some stuff. Getting ready to fire it up and kind of give you a little rundown on that. As I had said before, a lot of times these solenoids will start sticking. They got little brass contact washers in there, and when it hasn't rained in a long time, it gets corroded, and you'll start it up and the starter will just keep on winding. So got some tools here. I got a screwdriver, that way I can disconnect the battery quick if it sticks. I got a little aluminum rod where maybe I can just smack on the solenoid a couple times. Got a flathead screwdriver, that way I can adjust the idle once it hopefully fires up. Now, this engine sat for 7 to 10 years. I haven't tried starting it. I cleaned the carburetor. I just put the intake manifold gaskets on there. I cleaned out the gas tank. In the other video you'd seen that. There's well, let me get a flashlight. And it really cleaned up pretty good. I've went a few different ways of cleaning tanks. Sometimes just shake up a chain in there, knock it all out. I've wrapped them in a blanket and thrown them in the dryer with no heat, let that kind of tumble it out. It was so nasty. It wasn't rusted real bad. It was just a lot of funky old gas in it. So I usually don't put water in it, but I hosed it out with the garden hose, soaked it in vinegar, and kind of went through some cycles of that and turned out pretty good. So another little backstory on this: when I bought this, friends showed up. I've never had so much negativity going to buy a bike. This guy's like, he wanted to know why I was there, and I said, I'm buying this bike. He wasn't happy about that. Apparently he wanted to buy it. The guy told me, he said, well, I hope you put a bunch of money into it and I hope it blows up. I'm thinking, what? What's this dude's deal? He's like, well, you ain't never going to get a title for it. Well, I've got a title. Everything's worked out with that. And he was like, well, he didn't tell you about the rod knocking, did he? I hope to God this thing doesn't have a rod knocking. Guy was calling me all kinds of names, so I think more or less he was just butthurt because he wanted it and never got around to getting it. The guy said he offered it to him many times, so let's hope that's all BS and this thing fires up great. So I haven't even, here, I'll show you. The thing is cold. Got there. I got this thing on Celsius. Let's go to Fahrenheit. 68 degrees. Never fired this thing up. I've turned it over by hand. Usually, I'm looking for probably these push rod tube seals to start leaking, the oil lines to start leaking. I haven't replaced those. The engine does turn over without a Kickstarter. You can jack the back wheel up, put it in gear, turn it over, spin the back wheel, make sure it spins. If you have a Kickstarter, you can do the same. So I lifted up the back wheel, it turns over. I haven't adjusted the valves. Might leak. It's got the electronic ignition, which is nice. I did put a new points cover on it. But with that, if it works, it works. And you ain't cleaning points or anything. And it's got sparks. So I put fuel in it. Throw a rag underneath the carburetor, just so in case the float sticks, so I don't dump gas everywhere. Now, see, first drop of fuel in this dry filter. This fuel might not be great either, because it still had a little funk in the tank, but I think I got it out pretty good. We're filling up. I don't see any drops yet. It's a good sign. Alright, I guess I'll put you on the tripod. I'll get my screwdriver ready to disconnect the battery in case the solenoid sticks. I'll go ahead and pull the seat off just to get it out of my way. So, the moment of truth. This is what one of the most exciting but nerve-wracking parts of it. So, fire extinguisher ain't bad to have on hand. Here we go. Turn the enrichener on, fuel's on. Alright, here goes nothing. I'll crack the throttle. My accelerator pump is squirting fuel. See what we got. Alright, that's a good sign. I had soaked the cylinders with oil, so it should probably, it's not uncommon to smoke quite a bit. So I got the door open. I'll go ahead and kick this fan on. Let's try her again. Great sign. I didn't mention before I started the video, but you want to make sure it's circulating oil. So I pulled the cap here. See, it was about half full. It's almost filled to the top, so I wanted to shut it off before that overflowed. Man, sounded good, you know. I'm excited. I also killed it because I never did install the bottom clamps on the exhaust. The rear pipe was about to shoot off, so I did put the cup down here because I figured it was going to have a bunch of extra oil in the cam cover, and it didn't, so that's a good sign. Smoky, sounded good. That's awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, and I don't see any leaks at the push rod tube covers. I'm sure they're dry, and I'm going to have to replace those anyway. But alright, so I guess that guy was just full of BS. We'll see once you get it fired up and running good and hot, take it for a couple spins. But glad to see that. So let me know what you guys think. I'll get some more videos of it. Maybe take some rips down the road with it. If you guys are interested in a FrostCycleShack t-shirt, I'll have a link in the description. I'll be at the Devil's Staircase in Oregonia, Ohio tomorrow. The hill climbs. If you see me there, say hey. So thanks for watching, guys.